Congressman, let's go straight at it. Should women have to sign up for the draft?
Stuart, great to be on. No, of course not. I'm the father of a 13-year-old daughter, and under no circumstances do I believe that she should be required to register with Selective Service. I don't think it's good for our country. I don't think it's good for our women. Now, importantly, we just came out of a segment where we were just talking about the absurdity of what's going on with Title IX. Right? They're literally undermining everything that was fought for to make sure that there were female sports, male sports, all in this in the guise of, transgender, non-binary individuals competing. Now you see what that's done. It's totally upended those differences. Meanwhile, you have the Deputy Secretary of Defense, the Deputy Secretary of Defense, saying that it is a key national security issue that we make sure that we're taking care of non-binary individuals at the Department of Defense. This is woke social engineering. This draft nonsense should not be supported. There were Republicans in the Senate Armed Services Committee who just voted it out, voted for the amendment, and voted for the National Defense Authorization Act with drafting your daughters included in that bill sent to the Senate floor. Thankfully, House conservatives have prevented that. The House National Defense Authorization Act is a good bill. It does not add your daughters to the draft. Under no circumstances should we do that. I hope the Senate will kill it. If they don't, the House needs to stand strong and say no to drafting our daughters.
We admire clean-cut opinions, Congressman, and you give them to us every single day. Thank you very much. I've got another one for you. There's been a spike in the number of criminal migrants entering the country. Over 13,000 in fiscal year 2024. So far, there were just 4,200 in all of fiscal year 2019. What can you do to address this problem in the immediate future without waiting for the election? What can you do now?
Yeah, Stuart, this is the question that I ask every day of my colleagues. Of course, we want to make sure we get President Trump elected, but your point is the main one. And today, I will say, we put on the floor of the House a DHS appropriations bill that would require that the elements of H.R. 2 be included if funding is going to be transmitted to the Department of Homeland Security. James Madison noted when they founded the country, the power of the purse is the most effective weapon we have against a tyrannical government. By the way, a tyrannical executive branch, which has allowed people to get killed. Right? We just had this woman, Rachel Marin, in Maryland, who was killed, brutally raped and murdered. She wasn't the first in her county. Kayla Hamilton, 2 years ago, brutally raped and murdered. Texan, Lisbeth Medina, killed, found in a bathroom. The little girl, 13 years old, who was raped in New York. A 12-year-old in Iowa who was raped because we're allowing people to get dumped into our communities who are criminals. It is absolutely mind-boggling that we would fund that. We should use the power of the purse to stop it. I'm not afraid of having that fight in September. I suspect I will not be in the majority, though, Stuart. I believe we should use the power of the purse and fight. I believe the American people will respond to that in November. But we got to put it out there.
One more quick one. I presume that the first thing that President Biden says about immigration in the debate, in the CNN presidential debate tomorrow night, the first thing he says is, we've got a 40% reduction in cross-border apprehensions since my executive orders went into effect. Now, he's going to use that statistic. What's your response?
Well, first of all, the president could have used executive power when he first came into office, and instead he undid all of the great things that President Trump did to secure the border. But second of all, what he's doing is he's releasing people through the parole program. He's literally the people that just killed. Laken Riley is dead because Joe Biden's policies, they released somebody under parole in a violent abuse of our law. He is lying when he says that. We should absolutely hammer them on this issue. The American people are sick and tired of it, including, by the way, Hispanic Americans, who they want the rule of law. They want their communities safe. They're tired of having their little children getting killed by fentanyl or getting raped and abused or getting sold into the sex trafficking trade because rich white liberals and Democrats and progressive Democrats want to pat themselves on the back in the name of open borders. I'm tired of it, and we should do something about it.
The fired up Chip Roy is welcome on this program. Sir, Congressman, thanks for joining us. Always appreciate it.
Thanks, Stuart.
Yes, sir. We know border smuggling